do a beer review or talk about a beer with you guys. Friday night, there's no sports on TV because everything is pretty much locked down. And so I figured, why not check out this beer and let you guys know what I think of it. And tonight it is actually going to be from Sierra Nevada, the 40th Hoppy Anniversary Ale, their limited edition beer to commemorate 40 years of success there with the brewery. So I've seen this a few times, didn't pick it up when I initially saw it because there were so many other beers I was trying. Ended up seeing this again, and I figured I better get it in before the apocalypse because things are getting crazy out there at the store. We'll get into that in a bit, but people are losing their damn minds out there in these stores, and it's getting kind of crazy, so y'all be safe out there. No fights that I've seen yet. I've heard about some fights at some of the stores taking place, but it's been, no meats, running out of meats, running out of toilet paper, paper towels, obviously the sanitizer, so people are just losing their damn mind. Anyway, this one comes in 6% ABV. And of course, if you're not familiar with Sierra Nevada, they're out of Chico, and now they have a brewery also in North Carolina. And looking forward to see what they came up with this on this one here. Let's go ahead and get this baby into a glass. On the back, it gives you some information there. I'm not going to read all that stuff, but it's all about the brewery and everything, as you can see. And big shout out to Blake TV in the house. Cheers, homie. Happy Friday to you as well. And you do it. What's going on, my friend? Yeah, I'm not going to say the C word. Not yet, at least. But people are losing their mind over it. And head coach is in the house. What is going on, coach? Cheers to you as well. This is actually neat. This is actually one. I forgot I had this bottle opener. It was sitting on one of my metallic signs. That's pretty nice, right? Little bottle opener there. Don't come after me with the Me Too. It was just an old bottle opener. That's all it was. So, picked this up at Oktoberfest. And I said, oh, let me use that. I forgot I even had that one there. And I am going to actually use a Sierra Nevada glass in honor of the brewery themselves. First time I've used this glass, actually. So, hopefully you guys are having a great Friday as I pour this beer. A lot of events being canceled. I don't know if you have plans for the weekend, but it seems like people are going to lockdown mode a little bit. Some of the events are still taking place out there. I know here they have a few things at some of the breweries. They're still moving forward. They've been sending out emails all day. Hey, we're still going to keep it going. So depending where you're at, things can definitely be a little crazy. Just switch it over to the beer review cam so that way people, when they check in, they can see the bottle of the beer I'm actually drinking. But a nice illuminated golden orange color on this beer itself. Ended up giving it a decent sized head, about 3 fingers, so the aromas should be nicely coming out of it. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera if I hold it still enough. There's a good amount of carbonation that I can see inside the beer. It does have a chill haze on it, so I'm not sure if it's fully coming through. You might get a little of the bubble action. Try to turn it this way as well. I think right there you can kind of see it in the center of the glass. But a lot of stuff happening there. Nice malt forwardness on the beer. Do pick up some of the hoppiness, but I'm getting a nice sweetness from the malt, so it looks like they're going to have a nice balance on this one. Get a little bit of that pininess that you get from this type of pale ale. Not as much as the citrusy feel. Definitely a nice old school feel to the beer. What's going on? Eclectic in the house. Cheers, buddy, as well. What's up, Erie? Cheers. But you do get a nice take off the aroma. Taste-wise, nice crisp hoppy feel to it. You do get some of that bitterness, not overly bitter. I didn't look to see what the IBU level is on this beer, but it's got a little bit of a bite, but the bite is pretty subtle. You get a nice feel of a sweetness of the malts in the mouth. Digging the balance on this one here. Flavors lasting around for a good amount of time. I do get a feel, if I have to pick out a fruit, I would say more of a grapefruit type feel in the throat area as well. Big shout out to Gilbert. Cheers, my friend. That little back end bitterness is hanging around. Body wise, nice medium body beer. Nice play in the mouth with it. No, I mentioned it was a pale ale, but it might be an India pale ale. Although it's one of the non-fruity ones, if it is. Yeah, West Coast IPA. So you don't have that overly fruit bite with it. But yeah, I'm actually digging this beer. I will say, if you're not a big fan of kind of that fresh hoppy feel you get on some of these beers that are more of the bitter end type effect, and you get that scratchiness, you're getting more of that scratchiness in the throat. As I'm drinking this more, I can feel it pick it up a little bit more. So it definitely has that greenness to it. Coach says, what's a beer I just don't care for? Everybody kind of knows, the channel now knows, I'm not a fan of shandy ales. I'm not a fan of shandies. That is the style that I dislike the most. So people get excited around this time of year because Leinenkugel's summer shandies come out. So many other shandy beers are coming out. They just do nothing for me. I'm not a big fan of that style. I don't know really why, because I do like Rattlers, which are a little bit kind of an offshoot of that. But the taste of the shandies is not something I just prefer. So in fact, that's the only style I've ever had drain poured at a bar, because I just wanted the glass. I took like a third of the drink, and I was like, okay, pour the rest out. And I'm not a fan. I wouldn't say I'm not a fan. I would drink malt liquor before I drink a shandy. That's how much I'm not a fan of shandy beers. But yeah, actually digging this one. And definitely say, if you like pale ales, if you like IPAs rather, and you like the old school type IPAs, then this is actually one to check out. Shandies are lighter with a slight tang and refreshment. Yeah, shandies are lighter, but Rattlers are usually lighter than shandies. Rattlers can anywhere from 2.5% to around 3%. Shandies are a little bit bigger than that usually, but they're both lighter type, relaxing type styles. It's just the taste of the shandy is just not, Now I will say, I shouldn't say I don't like all shandies, because I've had some from Jolly that has been okay, but I don't like the ones from Leinenkugel. And I've done other ones besides the summer shandy. Maybe it's just that because they're a macro and they make it so sweet. It's just that sweetness gets to me after a point. It's like, maybe if I was going to chug the beer, I'd be okay with it. But to sit there and drink it, it warms up, it gets too sweet, it gets kind of sloppy in my mind, and I'd rather not have it. So I would drink a seltzer before I would drink a shandy. So again, shandies are really down there. You guys know how I feel about seltzers. So just know I have them ahead of a shandy. But with this beer, for those of you that wanted to check out what I thought on it, it's decent. I would definitely say give it a try again. If you like that old feel of a West Coast IPA, getting away from all these fruity or juice type IPAs that the market's being flooded with, that's definitely a nice one to pick up. And that's kind of what I would expect from a Sierra Nevada. Their pale ale is still such a solid OG type beer. You can always enjoy that. The Torpedo is always good as well. So I would definitely say this is in that tradition of a nice classic beer made by the brewery. Not going to probably knock you back as much, but again, you're going to enjoy it if you are that IPA type fan. So nice one from them to be offered at this point. So I got to check that baby into Untapped. If you're curious, probably in Untapped, I'm going to probably give this one here a 3.75. And I stopped doing ratings on a lot of the videos just because I really got no use for them. As far as I think people put too much into them, and then it's a matter of how they actually rate for the beer. And for me, when I do it on Untapped, for those of you that are on Untapped with me, I pretty much keep it simple. On the 5-point scale, 5 is pretty much an excellent beer, all great around characteristics with it. 4, very good, hits mostly on everything. A 3, very good. I would say very good. Good overall, but just not to that next level. and then you have a 2 that's kind of a fair and a 1 that's kind of a poor beer. So I think some people try to get all too complicated when I hear some people put like, oh, I'm going to give it an 87 out of 100. It's like, well, how do you give it an 87? Like, what makes it not an 88, not an 86? Why an 87? Or stuff like that. So I just kind of keep it simple along those lines. So anybody that ever follows me on tap and you wonder how I do that, that's how I do that there. But outside of that, what is everybody else drinking tonight on this Friday night? I'm kind of kicking back. Like I said, there's no sports on. It's kind of crazy. A Friday night. Well, we've had the last couple nights like this now, but no sports on TV. I'm actually watching Diner, Driving, and Dives, which isn't really great either since there's food shortages, I guess, in places, and I'm going to be hungry again. I'll end up going through some of our food later on. So, but people are out there running around at the store like it's Armageddon. Just people just piling in stuff. All the milk was pretty much wiped out. Now, I don't really ever drink milk, but I do drink coconut or cashew type milk, which really isn't milk. But anyway, they put it with the milk stuff, so I ended up getting a couple half gallons of just like the protein milk from that. But everything was pretty much wiped out. People had like just barely any of that stuff was left. Nothing in the toilet paper aisle, nothing in the paper towel aisle. The meats were just kind of ransacked. People were just going crazy. All the water, whatever kind of H2O you wanted, unless you were getting like Evian or you were getting like Propel or something fancy, then all the regular water was already gone, so you weren't getting any of that really. There were sodas and stuff, so they had like a deal, so I got like some sodas and stuff like that. Picked up a few other things, spaghetti, pasta. Whatever. People love pasta and times are bad. People were buying all the pasta up. I got some that I actually did find there, but it was pretty much wiped out. And then I ended up getting some pasta, but the pasta was wiped out. And luckily, I looked down under one of the shelves and I found a couple of ragu. It was so funny. I was talking to another lady that was there, and she was like, I don't know what to get. Like, I can't find any. So I'm like, well, do you like ragu? I said, I'm going to get these down here, and I gave her a couple there, and I had a couple. But it's just crazy how many people are out there just buying all this stuff up. You can still probably get a little bit like a tuna. All the Chef Boyardee stuff was wiped out. All the Campbell's soup was getting wiped out except for like cream of mushroom and stuff like that, which unless you got like a casserole or something, you're not really buying cream of mushroom. I picked up some Campbell's soup. They did have some of the chunky, and they had some of the Progresso type stuff. But I grabbed a pizza. They had pizzas on sale, so I grabbed a pizza for tomorrow. But it's just crazy how people are out there losing their mind. Like, dude, it's not going to be that bad. It's like people are afraid, like, I don't know what they're afraid of. And my wife was like, I was saying she was overreacting on stuff because she was asking me stuff. And she's like, well, you're underreacting on stuff. I just, we got stuff here. We'll get some more stuff as we go, but it's not like the end of the world right now. Collected likes the cashew milk. Yeah, I find the cashew milk, and for me, it's actually better for me than drinking the regular milk. The one that I got was protein. It was a cashew milk, I think, but it was protein and something else, which is nice from Silk, so they do some pretty good stuff. And I got like 2 of the last 3. I left one there in case somebody else wanted it, because I'm a giving kind of guy. I don't need to take it all. I left that behind. Now, if it's a beer deal, I might take it off. If it's a beer deal, for real. I might take all of those off your hand. Alan went today. I went after work, got some pancakes and sausage. Yeah, some of that stuff was there. Sausage, pancakes, eggs. All the eggs were gone. Everybody took all the eggs, the regular eggs, the liquid eggs. The only thing that they didn't take were the hard-boiled eggs. So I grabbed like some hard-boiled eggs because I'll have those, tomorrow with like some bacon or something like that and everything. But that was crazy. That all that stuff had actually happened as well. What's going on, Magnus? Cheer, my friend. Good to see you. And Magnus said, yeah, shit is breaking bad right now. People are losing it. They are. It's getting kind of crazy. One of the guys from the Dutch Beer Collective was telling me that they were actually getting in fights in some of the stores over where he was at, which is crazy. And I'm expecting it to happen at some point here where people get in some fights. My wife has sent me a video I haven't watched yet, but there's a guy on YouTube, Aussie man, I guess, he recorded a fight that took place over toilet paper. They were fighting over toilet paper. So always prepared for hurricane season. So I'm always prepared. Well, there you go. So you know how to get it all stocked down. You're ready to rock and roll. I had a couple. I guess they were like a couple cases of water that I picked up like earlier in the week. So I put those in the basement. So we have that down there. And then we have some other stuff around the house too, as we kind of just added things into it. But really, it's kind of just, I think it's all getting overblown and crazy. And the media is not helping at all. They're not helping with all the stuff they're doing. I saw one correspondent, it's funny, Alan, who's on here, I texted him earlier. I saw one correspondent that said people are as anxious now like they were since 9/11. I'm like, really? You think anxiety is high now compared to 9/11? That's just a terrible comparison. No, this was totally different. Let me see. I wouldn't doubt it all. Right, yeah, and people buying stupid stuff. Oh, no. I got in and get that stuff and some snacks, a lamp, and cat food. So, yeah. Beer aisle was good. There was some good stuff in the beer aisle that, I just picked this up. I didn't really need any more beer, but I want to do a review on this. So I grabbed a 6-pack because I'll probably jump on some other stuff. Blake will probably do Friday night throwdown later on, so I might jump over his show. So I've got some extra beer to drink when I'm actually over there too. A lot of stuff in the basement. I got her one-off. I told my wife earlier, I was like, I will basically drink beer if I have to. I mean, it worked for the monks back in the day. We got a guy right here in Cincinnati who's drinking beer only through Lent. So you can go in a beer diet. Beers were used at one point rather than feeding prisoners. So I've got enough stuff here. Yeah, right? Yeah, they said basically it was like one of the CNN people were saying that the anxiety level was as high now as it was for 9/11. And I'm like, seriously, that's terrible. That's nowhere even near what it was then. I mean, those of us that remember that time when it happened around 9/11, it was a totally different situation, totally different anxiety level because you didn't know what was happening. The cities were going to shut down, but there was a reason for it more than what this virus type thing was. Like, there's no gates coming down in people's buildings, and they're not doing all this other stuff that they were doing back then. And it wasn't a fear of, who can you trust or not trust type situation. This is a virus. It's going around. It's a new virus that's being, created, whether in a lab or by nature, wherever it was created. And it's something we have to deal with. I mean, it's just, that's what it is. When the flu made its president, yeah, it did wipe out a lot of people, but we adjusted over time so we could handle the flu. We've adjusted over time to handle SARS, handle Ebola, handle anything that kind of pops up. So it's just a new thing being introduced. So just kind of weird, kind of interesting. But I saw that and I was like, all right, yeah, that's why people don't watch your channel anymore. People are dumb. People are buying into it, though, and that's the frenzy. It's like you're not buying to prepare. You're more buying because you're in a panic state, which why are you panicking about what may be taking place here? It's reason, common sense. The one thing I'm concerned with is all the schools that are being shut down. So with the schools being shut down, you got a lot of kids that are going to be home. But then the thing that has to be accounted for, if the kids have to be home, you're assuming that the parents can be there. And not all parents can be there if they're in jobs where they can't get off or things may happen. They're going to try, I think, to force some employers to have mandatory pay if they can. But can they really force an employer to do that where an employer cut hours? I don't know. I mean, it would be a bad PR situation if they cut people. But at the same point, if they're not getting any sales in, they can only hold their level for so much as far as running whatever their business is. So it'll be interesting. What's going on, D'Angelo? Cheers, my friend. Just on a little bit of a rant there about coronavirus and all that kind of stuff and the way people are acting. So, but I'm actually checking out the, which you can see down there in the bottom of the screen, but I'm checking out the 40 hop from Sierra Nevada. And pretty decent beer. I don't know if you had this D'Angelo yet or not, but pretty decent. Right in the classic wheelhouse for what they usually make there. No way people are dumb, and no one dumber person than a scared person. Right. I should have bought some stock in Charmin. Yeah, so that's what I was saying the other day. It's like people are like running out of the market when people should be going into the market. Like if you bought like Procter and Gamble, who basically handles like Charmin or Cottonelle or whoever it is, Quilted Northern, they handle like Perel or whatever. They handle these other companies. That stock was seeing uptick today. Delta had a gain over 10% today. So people were getting, worried about these airlines cutting stuff, but people know they're going to rebound back on the back end of the year. And so people were buying Delta, they were buying United, they were buying American, and all those stocks were making great gains today. So if you had some cash laying around and you just got in there today, you would have made a nice little return off of it. Yeah, kids are out until the 30th at the earliest here on the East Coast. Yeah, we had 3 weeks, I think, just given down in Ohio for the kids being out. I think in Kentucky, where I'm at, because I'm right in Cincinnati area, so I'm across the border, I think they may be out through maybe mid-April or through the end of April. Some schools, I think, are going now for the whole end of the quarter. Maybe that's just on the college level, but they're actually shutting them out to that point. The kids earlier this week at Harvard were they were told don't come back from spring break. And just close up and basically go home by Sunday. So some of those college kids are scrambling to get their stuff all situated because the school's kind of kicking them out on Sunday, which is kind of crazy. So it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. St. Patty's Day parades are being canceled all across the land. Although here in Cincinnati, they have not officially canceled ours as of yet, I believe. I know the one in Chicago got canceled. The one in Boston, which is huge, got canceled. I was really surprised about that one. All the sporting events. There's a lot of revenue being turned over because of all this stuff happening, and not just for those stadiums and stuff, but the workers, the businesses that employ through those stadiums and stuff like that. It's a big hit to the economy. So we're not going to get around that as much. But again, if you're in it for the long run, you're going to rebound nicely on the back end. It's the same thing on Black Monday in '87. People that had the money to invest, they rebounded nicely when the market came back up. And these things happen. Bear markets happen every 5.5 or 6 years, so it's not uncommon. People were expecting something to happen at some point, just didn't know it was going to happen this way. So if you got some stock options out there, I would definitely play them a little bit. Erie just said, yeah, they just started buying some stock as well. There's some great stock programs out there. There's some great apps you can use too to kind of x-ray stocks to see what might fit your criteria. So, just use some sense in the stocks that you're looking at. What I always say is observe the things that are happening around you, because chances are those are the stocks you might want to get into, right? So if it's something where people are running out of sanitizer, find out those companies that might be creating that sanitizer, who owns the rights to those companies. Depending on the company, depending on how much you get, it could make it worth your while to get into that type of stock. Stocks are now down because of concerns like Apple, that Apple's going to respond and have good stuff in the future. You might be able to get them at a discount now. So you just got to get out there and check stuff out and see what works best for you. Coronavirus is crazy, but people are overcoming it though. Yeah, that's the thing. Over half the people that had contracted it have overcame it, right? So there's going to be an outcome where people are going to get through it. It's just everything is being so crazily put out there that people are just falling right in line, right to what needs to be done as far as in their mind, thinking, go buy this, go buy that, getting concerned. I have people that I work with that were getting calls from clients about pulling money out of the market, and they're trying to tell them why they were in the market, and it's just crazy. They canceled all the rest of basketball. Yeah, any XFL shut down, and this kind of stuff, big stuff going on. Yeah, they got NASCAR's canceled the next 2 races. The Masters just got postponed. The Masters had a lot of dollars wrapped up into that for them to do that. The only one that has not done it yet, and they said they're still moving forward, is the NFL. So the NFL is actually back at work this coming weekend. They got they got to put on the restrictions for any free agents. They're doing free agent moves. They're starting whatever their off-season thing. So it's going to be interesting to see. But the NFL has not actually broken down yet. Erie, EB, remember us when y'all get rich, right? Erie says, Blake, who are you? So we got little monies, not big monies to invest. And you can make some money off the little stuff too, right? So I remember I had made money before off a little one that was, they were basically a security company, but they created one of the stun guns that police actually used from back in the day. And they were one of the providers, and I had found them somewhere, but the shares, I think it was like 5 something a share or whatever. And it was a great deal because it was a point where they started putting more stun guns on police officers. And that one was something. I remember when FTD.com came out back in the day when people used to send flowers to FTD and we would see the commercials and stuff. When they launched online, I had gotten that at a point, and that was actually a good company because everybody was going online to buy stuff. So you just got to observe what's happening in the economy. You can find different areas. What up, Dee? Cheers, my friend. What is happening? What is going on in your world? And just here chilling, drinking a Sierra Nevada 40th Hoppy anniversary ale. And yeah, nobody else to tell me, what are you guys all drinking? Am I the only one drinking tonight? Anybody else throwing anything down? Magnus said, here, eclectic media is hyping and the government is trying to flatten the curve, as they call it. Right, that's what we talked about earlier today. You know, they're trying to do that flatten the curve type thing, but they're still contradicting themselves on some of this stuff. So it's kind of like, who do you really want to believe at some points? There was also a post, and I think, Alan, you saw it earlier, from a lady in Italy that talked about how bad it actually was in Italy, and she was one of the quarantined people. The only thing I was concerned about it is if it was really a legit post or if somebody was trying to set something up, but there were some concerns raised in that one. Yeah, we'll definitely see how that goes with the NFL. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they get some flack or if things go through. It'll be interesting because, I mean, they make a ton. They got the NFL draft coming up next month, so you know, they're all about making those dollars. They're already in a possible battle with the players' union, I think. I think it's either the end of this season or next season. There was an interview with Richard Sherman like a year or two ago, and he thought they may go on an NFL strike when the next bargaining agreement came up because of some of the stuff they're trying to do. So, you know, if they force them into doing this and they don't want to do it, it might even come a little quicker. Don't forget the NFL played their game 48 hours after the president of the United States was shot and killed. Nothing stops the NFL. What's up, bum? Cheers. Well, 9/11, they did pull the games when it was 9/11, so they did stop playing games at that point, but NFL is definitely all about the dollar for sure. Here's the element, right, Blake? No one will need any for a while. I hope nobody drinks Corona anymore. D'Angelo, that should be the lesson learned. Stay away from Corona. With or without the lime, just don't do it. But I actually opened the 40th anniversary out a little bit before we started the stream. So what do you think of it, Bob? I like the balance. I'm getting some of the malt sweetness. I'm getting the hops. They did very well balancing those two out, I thought. It's a pretty decent beer. It's not a beer, like I said earlier before you got here, it doesn't really knock me back. But it's a nice classic beer from them, and I would expect a classic type brew with Sierra Nevada. Miscellaneous is having a Yingling right now. Got a few Bushka Russian stouts and some good Anderson Valley Hoppy Tropical Sour. Nice. And a few Boulevard. The Callin. I think I do have the Callin downstairs. Double IPA teas. Yeah. Well, you got a nice little stash going there of some beers. And I've got a few different ones down there. I got like a ton now of like the Fruitful Fort that I went back and bought. I ended up buying. I mean, I went back to the store where I got them at $1.99 a bottle. They had 8 left, so I did wipe the shelf off with the last 8 they actually had there. Picked up some more Uncle Jacob Stout from Avery because they had that on sale. And I picked up some Decadent Stouts for $1.99, or Decadent beers that were IPAs for $1.99. Didn't know how good they were going to be. They actually were pretty decent, so I may go back tomorrow and get the rest if they still have more. Hey, what's going on, Paul? Cheers, brother. Hope you're enjoying your weekend as well. Thinking you're probably at work right now. But hopefully you're set for a nice weekend. Hopefully you're all stocked up. Paul's in a pretty safe, remote area. He's away from people, so he doesn't have to worry about anybody touching him or sneezing on him or bumping into him. So, Didi played golf, made New York City pizza from scratch. Oh, very nice. Was a keeper. Making dough is not easy as people think. No, that's pretty cool. I've actually thought about that before, how much fun it would be to make like a homemade type pizza and stuff. But I still go out and buy it. I just don't do it. I haven't made it yet. I just haven't done it. Maybe I'll grab one of Alan's Lady Drinks, Erie says. Anderson Valley Hazy Tropical Sour Ale. Okay. Anderson Valley always does some really good beers. Hopefully nothing changes with their change in ownership. They were actually bought, I think it was by out in California, another one of the, it wasn't like a macro company, it was one of the vineyards, like a family-owned vineyard or something. Lady Drinks, what the fuck? I don't know. What are you drinking? That's a lady drink there, Alan. No frills, but very nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Bomb. It's right there. a decent representation for an old school West Coast IPA. Not mad at it. I can enjoy it. I'm not going to rave about it, but it's pretty decent. Erie says, love you though, Alan. Arizona in the house. What is going on, Arizona? Cheers. Says hello all. Hopefully you're doing well out there. Hopefully you're stocked well for Armageddon that's taking place here. Paul says, always at work. Well, you're off, he said, Sunday or Monday, so we just need to coordinate, and we'll do a beer tuber spotlight on you, Paul, here one of the upcoming weeks when we can get it tied into everything. Miss Lane said, Beerman's going to do a premiere. I sent him a nice package so you could have a few exotics. Oh, very nice. Beerman always rocks. I got to rock the... I ended up getting one of the Beerman hoodies. I haven't really rocked it out yet, so I need to rock that at some point before it gets too warm. But Beerman is always a great guy, always fun. If you guys don't know Beerman, make sure you check him out as well. He's always doing some great stuff from out there in Oregon. Definitely on the map if I can make it out west at some point to check him out and meet him as well. Going to drink a Nomad Session IPA. Oh, taking a light tonight, Dee? A little light? This is going to Session IPA? It is the weekend, my friend. Cut loose. Funky Buddha got bought out by Corona and not the Fires joke. Yeah, so Funky Buddha is under, they'd be under Constellation brands then, because Constellation owns Corona. Constellation did own, as we know, Ballast Point till they got rid of them. That was like the worst deal probably ever done to buy a brewery and craft beer when they bought Ballast Point for $1 billion. Definitely overvalued them because I know the numbers have been released, but they said the deal to King and Convicts was less than $1 billion, they believe. So, bro, that's awesome. I asked him how his Teespring was doing. He said he sold one hoodie and I bought a shirt yesterday. Cheers, bro. Cheers to that. Yeah, I got a hoodie from him. So, the hoodie is a nice hoodie too. So I bought it like towards the, we're in the back end. We're about to go spring pretty soon. So I probably could have got a t-shirt. But no, I like the hoodie. I like to relax and chill with the hoodie as well. So I got my hoodie that I rock. I'm going to rock his too. I got a couple other shirts from some of the other beer people. So yeah, I like to help out when I can. So Alan, you should hopefully I'm hoping you get your Stein by like Monday or so, if not by this weekend. Hopefully you'll get it maybe tomorrow. So Alan actually got one of the Steins from our store and got one of the keychains. The keychain seems to be taking longer, which is weird, so that might be there by Monday or Tuesday, I believe. But yeah, good stuff all around. This will be weird tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow, I guess, well, I got to still do taxes, so I'll probably do taxes tomorrow, or at least begin them and finish them probably Sunday. But I will catch up on some of the shows since there's no sports and there's not any. I can't remember. There's no March Madness. There's no basketball tournaments. There's nothing to take place. So I'll probably kick back and maybe do a little binging, catch up on some of the shows. I still never finished with The Boys on Prime with the superhero. I only saw the first episode. Alter Carbon, I got to check that out at some point. Everybody talked about how good that is. Trying to think some of the other stuff up there. I'm kind of into Deputy right now on Fox, but I'm already caught up on that one for the most part. Maybe catch on some of the movies. I still haven't watched John Wick 2 or 3, and I got both of them on DVR, so I got time this weekend now. I'm going to probably watch some John Wick now I think about it. Let me see. Erie's All You by Rod J. Merce. Damn, correct. It's all good, girl. Yeah, Erie's got one of the Get Your Beer On hats, and I think getting the keychain here. So appreciate you. Appreciate Al. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate especially you guys that, kind of checked out some stuff on the store. You're kind of rocking the brand out there so people know to come see me and get their beer on. Working tomorrow, I bet you somewhere drinking I'll be somewhere drinking a $1.99 beer. It could happen. Or I'll have a video with one of the $1.99 beers, right? It's funny, we got a chance, I mentioned a couple times, a couple of other videos, to meet the Kentucky Brew Review guys, and they caught some deals up here when they were in town, so they were really pumped up about some of the stuff they saw. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. Erie said, yep, I'm going to get me some shirts. Well, thank you, Erie. Erie's my number one fan. I got to say, she's become my number one fan here, so I appreciate you. So, yeah, I even put a coffee mug out there, too, so it's all just fun. Nobody ever has to feel like they got to get anything. I just do this because I enjoy doing it, and it's a good time to just, share some of the stuff and everything. So, but outside of that, nothing else really too much happening. It's getting ready for the weekend. Luckily, our Beer Fest was last week that we were able to get that in because some of the other festivals seem to be getting canceled now. So if you do have plans for the weekend, make sure you check ahead because some things may be getting canceled and may be a no-go for you, which sucks. But at the same point, it's kind of like it sucks, but then again, you understand for the safety of stuff, I guess. So yeah, kind of a weird type situation. But what is not weird is the beer in my glass is good. And I need to get more. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thanks for everybody that tuned in on this little Friday night chat. Trying to do a little bit more of these. I do have another video I'm going to edit and actually just upload that one on another beer review. Oh, no, I have not seen Bloodshot yet. Did you see it? I want to see it. It looks pretty interesting on the commercial or the trailer that I saw. Yeah, it came out. Did it come out yesterday? Did you see it already? I think it came out Thursday. That's another place, too. Like, theaters are... I don't know how they're doing it, but they're going to try to either get rid of seats or close down some of the seats so people have to spread out when they're actually in the theater. So... that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Good, okay. Alright, well, I'll definitely have to look to see if I can maybe get that in and see that. Could be a thing to do. Could be go to the movies or something at some point here, depending how things are moving along and how bored, if things get boring, that maybe have to get out of the house and do something. But right now, I'm waiting to see... Scarlett Johansson's movie, Black Widow. That's the one I'm really looking forward to seeing. And everything I've read about and seen looks pretty damn good for it. So that's one I've been waiting to see for years because I like her backstory on stuff too. So that should be pretty interesting. Alright, everybody. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut down here. If you guys are around, I say go to check out Blake TV, I believe at 9 Eastern. He will be lighting up the Friday Night Throwdown. That is always a good, fun time. He'll be there. I know Collected Beer is usually there. I'm going to try to pop over there as well if he'll have me. And then other cast of characters I'm sure will be around as well. But that's always a blast. And never know what's going to happen on Friday Night Throwdown. But I will tell you, you always know you'll have a good time. I will look forward to catching up with you guys soon here. I'm going to do some stuff probably tomorrow again. I'm going to have more free time now to do some things, so I may just do some other streams, whether I'm doing it here on OBS or if I'm doing some stuff with StreamYard, maybe get some other people on, we'll see. But I will look forward to catch up with you guys then. Keep drinking those good craft beers, and remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.